Hello everybody, I'm Christa Jacobson, headmistress of the Budo Ryu Ninjutsu, where we teach authentic ninjutsu and classical samurai bujutsu. And for those of you who don't know what that is, those are the ancient martial arts of the ninja and samurai. Today I'm going to give you a review of the 2019 Budo Ryu Ninjutsu Daikomyosai. So here we go. Today we are on our way to the annual Dico Meo Sai, and it's an annual event that we host here at the Budo Ryu Ninjutsu. It is the event for all Budo Ryu Ninjutsu students. So if you're training in Budo Ryu Ninjutsu, this is the event where we get together and we train in all 7 warrior traditions. We talk about all the different things that's going on with the organization and changes that are going to be made and all that kind of stuff. All the secret stuff that goes on in the organization, right? Said it a million times that we're not a secret organization, just an organization with secrets. But this is the time for that, and we all get to train together and gather around and just have a good time and focus on not just the historical teachings of the 7 warrior traditions, but also the different variations and modern applications that we're really going to push for the next year. And we always do the Dico Meo Sai in June, and June is also when the summer solstice happens, or Lita. So it's the Dico Meo Sai literally means the great light and the coming of the light. And it starts where the month where we have the summer solstice as well. And it's a great time for us to get together and just train and kind of be part of a family. You know what I mean? And I'm really looking forward to it. We got a really good group this year, so that's positive. We got a great group, and yeah, I got some people coming in from out of town, and some of them one of them drove 17 hours just to be here. So we've definitely had some people that, they definitely went out of their way to get here to train, and I'm looking forward to training with everybody. I'm very honored for all the people that showed up, and it's gonna be a good time. We have day 1 of the Dico Meo Sai is now over, and I'm sweating my ass off. It's time to go home. It's after midnight, and it was really good. I would like to say we ran into lots of problems. I mean, the heat index today, we were outside, and the heat index today was over 107 degrees. So everyone was drinking lots of fluids, trying to stay hydrated. It was so freaking hot. I mean, I know I'm going to look like complete shit on the camera just simply because there's no way that my makeup wasn't running all over the place while I was training. I mean, it was so freaking hot. But everyone did train hard. We had lots of breaks. Usually on day 1, I do more kuden than what I did. But we did a lot of techniques. We did work on a lot of technical skills. We focused more on the classical aspect of the 7 traditions. So we started out with Gyoko Ryu. We worked with the Gyoko Ryu Koshi Jitsu and worked out of the Joryaku no Maki. We also touched a little bit on the Churyaku no Maki and Geiryaku no Maki, but primarily Joryaku no Maki. And then from there we moved on to working on Kobo Jitsu, which is weapons techniques. We worked on the Kasarigama and some Boken Iai Jitsu skills. From there we worked on Togakure Ryu Ninpo Taijutsu, and really focused on the Santo Tanko no Kata, or the escaping rat methods, evasion tactics of the Togakure Ryu. And then from there we worked on Koto Ryu Kopo Jitsu, and with Koto Ryu we worked more out of the Shoden Gata. So we focused on like Koyoku, Hosoku, things like that, lots of different variations, Henka and so forth. From there we went to Tomoru and we worked on stealth walking, or Shinobi Oroki, so silent movement, silent skills, and we did various different stealth steps, a couple different stealth drills. We did some line drills, which we haven't done in many years, and so that was good. That was a good time. I think that the students really got that, and there was a couple students that hadn't done that kind of thing before, so that was good. And today a lot of the students that were here have been with me for many years, so it was really great for them to be able to help the other students that hadn't been here for a while, so that was good. When we got done with that, we went into some kuden, and I talked about the historical importance of maintaining tradition and history, and showing proper respect to what it is that we do and why we do it. And then from that point on, and understanding the way. right? That was kind of the big point of that particular Kuden lesson. When we got done with that, we moved into, we did do some other stealth drills, some low-lying, low-level stealth drills behind objects and things like that, or shape-shifting, shadow-shifting, using the element to maintain invisibility, things like that, crawling methods and such. Then we started working on Jujutsu and different variations. I mean, to be honest, with the Jujutsu, it's at the end of the night, so everyone was really low on energy. The goal was to go over various different sweeps. We were going to do Oso Togurai, Koso Togurai, O-Uchi Gurai, and Ko-Uchi Gurai, and then we were going to do different variations of each one. We did go through the 4 throws that I wanted to, but we did not get to do different variations. It's almost like we were working on a basic sweep. Everyone was so damn tired, and you could tell the energy was a little low. We talked about natural healing before we started that particular segment, and I thought that was something that I think was very important, is to understanding how to connect to the elements, heal yourself, and try to rid yourself of some of the free radicals and negative energy that you have. So we did that right before the Jujutsu training. Once we got done doing the various Jujutsu throws, then we moved into, that was it. We bowed out and we packed up, and now I'm making a video for you guys. So, good morning. It is day 2 of the annual Dico Meo Sai, and we are just now getting on my way to the camp. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. So get up, get a cup of coffee, hurry up, get ready, and get down there so we can train. Right, so day 2 we always start with meditation and breathing exercises. And then from there we'll have exercises that we're going to get into relating to the mind and training the mind, and we get into the different aspects of the conscious, the subconscious, and the unconscious mind. And that's a usual training topic, different techniques and different training drills every year, but that's the usual start, so we can focus on the mind on day 2. From there, I'm not quite for sure where the angle is going to be quite honest. I know what we're going to be doing after about 10 o'clock. We're going to be working on Kokoru Kempo, and we're going to be doing like knife fighting, knife disarms, stick fighting, stick disarms, maybe even multiple attackers, more of the quote-unquote reality-based self-defense. Generally, it's not always the way we do it, but generally we usually got day 1, we really stick to the traditional aspects of the 7 traditions, and the second day, the more modern concepts. And it's not always cut dry, like day 1's traditional, day 2's not. This year I'm trying to make it a little bit like that, although we're starting out with very traditional training. Before 10 though, we got a couple hours, and we're not going to meditate for 2 hours, so we are probably going to do some traditional training. We didn't work a lot on Iaijutsu yesterday, so I plan on working on a little bit of Iaijutsu. We are going to have access to different area of the woods, so I thought we would do some more stealth walking or Tai Sabaki or Taijutsu drills going through the woods and things like that. And I always put more on the paper than what we actually do every year, but we didn't finish all of the different Kusarigama techniques that I would have liked to cover yesterday. So with that being said, we're probably gonna, in those little 2-hour gap differences, probably gonna do the Kusarigama as well, and work on those techniques and whatnot before we begin. So anyway, I'm already pulling up. People are already here. I see everyone putting on their hakamas and getting ready. Yeah, I like shit. But... All right, everybody, we're about halfway through. Daiko Meo Sai on day 2. So we went down and we worked on. We did talk about the internal arts and all that, but it rained a little bit and it was really muddy. So I decided we would kind of work on other things and let it dry up a bit before we really worked on breathing and meditation and such. But we did talk about the internal arts in different areas of that. And then from there, we worked on swordsmanship, and we worked with the practical bunkai of edged weapons. So we would take some of the applications from the various classical kata, and then use that in a more modern approach towards edge weapon training. Then from there we did Kusari Gama, and then from there we worked on, I'm not for sure, today we did a lot more Kuden today than we did yesterday. And yesterday we didn't do that much Kuden, we did a lot of technique. So there was definitely a few Kuden lessons that I made, and I wanted to share, I want to share on my YouTube channel, and I made them for that purpose. And to be quite honest, it's going to piss a lot of people off, but you know, at the end of the day, I'm already sold that I'm just going to piss people off anyway. So just me being me pisses people off. So I don't even worry about that shit. So I did make some good Kudens. I made some strong points. And I do think that my students really caught on to it, and they think they understood where I'm coming from. Then, on top of that, so we're coming back home. We're going to have some lunch at the Hanbu. That's what we're doing now. We're going to have some lunch at the Hanbu, and then when we get done with that, we are going to be working on Kokoru Kempo, reality-based self-defense tactics, Goshin Jutsu, knife fighting, edged weapons. We might get into stick. I definitely want to focus more on the edged weapons training, knife fighting tactics, and so forth. So that's really where the goal is going into the second half of day 2 of the Dico Meo Sai. Hello everybody, how are you guys doing? So, the Dico Meo Sai is now over. 2019 Budo Ryu Ninjutsu Daikomyosai in the books. Kind of want to pick up where I left off. I believe the last video that I shot for you guys was we had left the park to go eat some lunch, and which is what we always do day 2 of the Dico Meo Sai. We always have like a barbecue and a cookout. And then we finish up with some various techniques that we had planned. And so once we got back, you know, had a cookout, it was great. Give some Kuden, some good lessons. This camp, I think day 2, I've definitely I did more Kuden and explanation of certain things than we did actual physical technique. Like I said, day 1 we did a lot more physical technique, which is good. A lot of the things that I talked about was more kind of a generic look at martial arts in general, the martial art community. I wanted to really let my students know where I stand on certain topics that just perpetuate in the martial arts community. From there, we went to home, had some lunch, had a cookout, we had barbecued, barbecued, we had some cheeseburgers and all that good stuff, and that was good. Normal barbecue food, potato salad, baked beans, you know, that kind of stuff. Watermelon and so forth. Once we started training again, we initially wanted to work on Kokoru Kempo. I wanted to talk about different defensive tactics, various explanations as to why blocking doesn't generally work, and if you are going to use it, how to use it effectively. We talked about knife fighting, edged weapon defense, edged weapon offense, how you can effectively use it within close quarter combatives as far as defensive tactics as well. A lot of people do the knife fighting thing, and it's pretty clear that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And there's no way that when they do it, it wouldn't work in a real fight. But so many people buy the bullshit. So I'm just against the bullshit. That's why we have the Budo Ryu to begin with. And most martial arts, regardless of what martial art it is, whether it's sport martial arts, internal martial arts, traditional martial arts, or reality-based self-defense, I firmly believe that 90% is just absolute bullshit, and 90% of the teachers are absolute bullshit, and they're only doing it to make money. They don't give a fuck about their students. They don't give a fuck about skills. Zero shits. They're running a business. And the reason I do what I do is because I want to make sure that people have the opportunity at real martial arts, real classical Koryu Japanese martial arts of the ninja and samurai. So that's what the Budo Ryu is for. So we got back, and I wanted day 2 to really have an emphasis on reality-based self-defense, modern applications of the classical kata. We worked on Kokoru Kempo and some of the kata right off the scrolls. For those of you guys who keep up with the scrolls and the Koryu training in Kempo, then you know we worked on one of the kata we worked on was called Nukite. And it's one of the kata that's on the Chuden scroll, and then we have Inzo, which is another kata on the Chuden scroll. Then we worked various different drills and principles off of those kata. But anyway, from there, we did some knife edge weapon defense, offensive tactics, various different cut sets, so on and so forth, a few more training drills, and then we ended it. We had the ceremony where everyone got together, we took pictures, and everyone gets pictures with me and all that good stuff, and I would give everyone a certificate, because anyone who busts their ass and they come down to the Dico Meo Sai to train with me, I want to make sure that they get something to say that they train with me. And I do think that's important, that the people who do train with whoever you choose as your master, right, or whatever you're training with, I think it's important that you get something, pictures and all that good stuff. I never, I'm from a different era, and that just wasn't a big thing. I was training in a time where, no one had websites, no one had, that just wasn't really a thing back then. It's a thing now, it's not a thing then. So I want to make sure that the people that do train with me have that opportunity. Let me put this here. The people that train with me do get an opportunity at that. So anyway, right, so we did the ceremony, everyone got their certificates, everyone got their pictures. I do want to thank everyone who did show up. I'm going to make another outro video to this video. I'm running errands right now. And so to all of you guys who purchased anything from the Budo Ryu Ninjutsu Superstore last week, I have a ton of orders over here that I'm shipping out now. So we didn't ship any orders last week at all, so they're all going out now, so I've got a good grip of those. And then next week I'll be shipping out everyone who did pass their exams in Budo Ryu Ninjutsu. You guys know I handwrite the traditional certificates in Japanese, so you guys get a traditional Japanese certificate, but I handwrite them all out for my students. Even if you're in the online ninjutsu dojo, you get one handwritten by me. So I'll be doing that this week, and then getting if you guys have passed any exam in probably the last 6 weeks or so, you haven't got anything mailed out to you, so you're gonna get that sometime this coming week or this next weekend sent out. So anyway, I don't wanna just sit here and mumble on, so I'm gonna go ship these orders, come back, and then as I'm driving back home, I'm gonna shoot the outro to the 2019 Budo Ryu Ninjutsu Daikomyosai. Right, so here's my outro. The reason that the Budo Ryu Ninjutsu Daikomyosai is so important is it gives an opportunity for all of the students of the Budo Ryu to come together and really focus on what it is that we're trying to do. I think it's difficult when a lot of times people they go out on their own and they try to do everything by themselves, and I think a lot of times we all feel alone, and we want to be part of something and be great and do things that are great and do things that help others be great. And the idea behind the Daikomyosai is that gathering, that get together, so we can all spend time and train in the arts and focus on what it is that the Budo Ryu supports. And I know there are thousands of different martial organizations and all that kind of stuff, but we are unique in the way that we do things. We are unique in the way that we train and the things that we stand for, and the way that we do things, and why we do things, and how we do things. And I think that if you guys are part of the Budo Ryu and you're studying Budo Ryu Ninjutsu, making the Daikomyosai is one of the most important parts of training in the year, because not only do you get to train in the 7 traditions and the modern variations and study off the scrolls and see me and the Hanbu and all that kind of jazz. Yeah, that's all there. But it also, you get to interact with the students, you get to interact with my black belts here at the Hanbu, you get to understand at a deeper level what we're doing, all the different things that we don't do behind the scenes. So there's so much that goes on behind the scenes within the Budo Ryu that most people don't pay attention to, or most people don't know. In 2019, well, first of all, in 2018, going into 2019, we had the most members in 2018 than we ever had since the beginning is when I started. We sold the most online dojo memberships in 2018 than what I've ever started. We sold the most DVDs and books in 2018 than what I had and ever started. And right now in 2019, we're halfway through 2019, and we're further along in 2019 than we were in 2018. And 2018 was the biggest year we've ever had. And I'm really happy with the way that we're going. I'm really happy with all the students that came by, and this is something that everybody needs to do if you guys are part of the Budo Ryu. That way you guys can talk, we can talk about curriculum, we can talk about what's coming up, the new books, the new products, the new changes in the online dojo, the new rules and regulations that'll be changed, the things that we do, why we do it, different things that we're going to celebrate, different things that we're going to be doing as far as kata, waza, gendai henka waza, the new scrolls that we've acquired through my personal research and how I'm going to share those particular scrolls with you guys. All these things that I'm talking about are things that I think are very important, and it's an integral part of training, and giving the students an opportunity to be part of that, not just like, okay, you're a student, do your level and send in your review. It gives them an opportunity to come in and meet me, and not just train and meet the black belts and all that, but also be part of the organization, be part of something that's great, something that's going to make them a better person. And that's truly what I feel is what that Dico Meo Sai is about. It's actually being part of a family, being part of that group. And if you guys are part of the Budo Ryu and you guys are studying Budo Ryu Ninjutsu, the Dico Meo Sai is of the utmost importance for you guys to make every year. So hopefully if you guys are watching this and you guys have never attended, mark it in your calendar. It's going to be the last weekend of June. It always is. Last Friday, Saturday in June of 2020 will be the next one. And hopefully we'll see you guys there. Now, if you guys have never seen a video of me, this is the first one. Really quick, again on my outro, I'm Christa Jacobson. I'm head of the Budo Ryu, which means School of the Warrior Way. We teach authentic and classical ninjutsu and samurai bujutsu. So if you guys are interested in classical Japanese martial arts, Koryu, ninja, samurai martial arts, if you're into reality-based self-defense, survival skills, martial thought, martial philosophy, any of that kind of stuff, please subscribe to my YouTube channel below. Don't forget to click the little bell, that way you get the updates. If you guys would like to train with us, check out our website at www.budoryuninjutsu.com. There's a list of our schools and everything that we do. If you don't live next to our dojo, you can always join the online ninjutsu dojo and train with us that way. Also, if you guys really aren't interested in training with us, but you like the things that I put out, you like the videos that I promote, don't forget to click where it says Budo Ryu Store. You guys can buy all my books, all my DVDs, the videos, the downloads, all that good stuff, and you guys can add them to whatever it is that you guys are doing with your martial arts training. So thank you guys very much for your love and support. I deeply appreciate it. Until next time, take care, be safe, and good luck in your journey of Budo. Blessed be.